It's a big one at Skytop Stadium, one of the biggest crowds Syracuse softball has ever had to honor 6 seniors and, well, for them, hopefully, watch Syracuse earn a spot in the ACC tournament. A lot of garnet and gold in there as well, as the number 14 Seminoles of Florida State visit Syracuse to close out a 3-game series. Same exact lineup they threw out there in game 2 yesterday. Mudge on a couple of hops the second. Foster knocks it down, and she can't make the play. Not easy for the freshman Mackenzie Foster at second. We'll see how they do rule that to be an error on Mackenzie Foster. And there's a base hit, no doubt about that one for Jason E. Beecham. So 2 on with nobody out for Florida State. So that error, center field for 4 years now here at Skytop Stadium, and done a great job doing so.
And when you say great, that might be an understatement. This is well, you talk about good plays. Madison Knight made one right there, so kind of stealing the show from Hasso a little.
Knight, a sophomore, got it done with her arm in game 2 yesterday. Pitched well for Syracuse in a loss and does it with the glove. Freshman of the year, along with Jason E. Beecham, was over at first base. Fly ball, shallow center. Here comes Hasso, and she makes the catch. 4 out, number 2. Makes that look easy.
Hendricks has been really good in these lefty-lefty matchups throughout these last couple of weeks, and a big
fly ball deep to left. Pess on her way back. She turns, looks, gone. What a statement for the Noles. Michaela Edenfield with a 3-run shot. It's her 13th of the year.
Hendricks had Edenfield in such a good place for this at bat. Had her 0-2 early, threw a couple balls, was really trying to get that finishing pitch, and unfortunately hung that one just a little bit inside, where Edenfield has crushed balls all season long, and right there, that was no different.
And she clips the outside corner, does Lindsay Hendricks.
And the fans know that too. You mentioned it off the top of the broadcast, just how many fans are at Skytop Softball Stadium at this point, and it's just early in May.
Lopez right back up the middle, and that's a good start for Syracuse. Leadoff single. Syracuse's do-it-all center fielder. The Orange will tell you she's their best player, and she grounds out to Amaya Ross at first as Lopez advances to second.
Really well, and that gave her the opportunity to be in the lineup come opening day.
Inside third and down the left field line. Lopez on her way home. She scores easily. Posner cruises into first base with an RBI single. So the Orange needed her to get hot. That's a good start for the junior.
And that's the answer back I talked about, Francesco. That one just weaved inside the line past the diving third baseman, and a great start for the Orange, especially to get on the board after a monstrous 3.
Really gotten her bat going. Number back to Royalty. She bobbles, but has plenty of time to retire Knight over at first and allow Posner to move on.
Wall that has been this Florida State defense. The last hit by Posner, I should say, could have been an acrobatic play at the defensive third baseman spot.
Layla Morales-Alves rolls out to first. On top 3-1 after a 3-run homer by Michaela Edenfield in the first. Here's Janai Kerr, sky-high pop-up left side. Kelly Breen puts it away for out number 1. Slow roller left side. Breen gobbles it up and retires Waycaser for out number 2. Much more like it from Lindsay Hendricks so far in the second.
And 2 good defensive plays, 3-run shot.
Here's Amaya Ross. Squares the bunt, drops it down. Alves fields, fires, and not in time to get the speedy Ross. Mackenzie Foster, the second baseman covering, couldn't believe it. Little stare at Chris Tahanika, the first base umpire.
I thought that one might have hit the bat twice. We'll look at the replay right here. Bat just laid in front of the base, and
I don't know about that one,
review,
Max.
I think she got there in time. No, in terms of I think the first baseman got there in time.
Well, Ross steals second, so I guess speed kills. Ross beats out the bunt. Didn't look like she did. Plenty of speed at second base for Florida State with Amaya Ross. Breaks for third, the throw in plenty of time, and they got her. Layla Morales-Alves with the BB, Rebecca Clyde with the tag, and just the second. And Ramos roped a single to center to walk off the game. Popped up on the infield. Shortstop Torres makes the catch. 4 out, number 1. On as the season has gone on, almost the reverse of Taylor Posner, who's had a tough last about 6 weeks, as Breen loops that one to right and dunks it in front of Hallie Wakehauser for a base hit. Make her 3 for 6 on the series. The name Olivia Pess usually comes up first. She lays down a bunt up the first baseline, gonna be a tough play for Ross, and she can't make it. A bunt single for Olivia Pess on senior day.
Edges on her pitches.
See if she's got the green light. Taking all the way and takes outside.
That's 3 straight in a row that she missed on the outside corner.
Fielders at double play depth. Lopez grounds it to first. Ross bobbles, it's a fair ball. Lanchier, the pinch runner, comes in to score. Pess advances to third, Clyde over to second, and the Orange are down by just 1.
If you're Florida State, that's exactly where you wanted that ball to be placed, but just a hard bounce to play off the line. It was fair, unfortunately, for Florida State. So with that, Syracuse, slowly but surely, like I talked about,
in this her senior season. Lines that one through the right side for a base hit. 1 run scores. They hold up the second runner at third, and Angel Hasso ties the game.
You knew this one wasn't going to be easy to fight off. 2-strike pitch, found it right down the pipe and sent that one right between the first and second baseman. A perfectly placed hit if you're Hasso, and right.
Threatening for more. High chopper, right side. Danley looks home, throws to first. Bobbled and gets away. 1 run scores, 2 run score. Here comes the third, and she is safe. Ball gets away from Edenfield. It's a 3-run infield chopper. Syracuse leads 6-3. That ball went about 50 feet if even. And the Orange get 3 runs out of it. 50 feet, that might have gone 30 feet.
And a gift if you're Syracuse. The issue right there was the catcher for Florida State, Michaela Edenfield. She was standing off the plate, so wasn't ready for the forced play at home. That forced Florida State the other way, and unfortunately for Florida State,
allowed Hasso to score.
And they're going to give Posner an RBI as well.
Yes, that makes sense, as Madison Knight works a walk, because a run would have scored anyway. Had Danley completed the throw to first, and really had Devin Flaherty made the catch. Still 2-2 on Morales-Alves. Swinging a drive, deep to right field. That ball is gone! Layla Morales-Alves with a 3-run homer. An 8-run inning for Syracuse, and the Orange lead 9-3.
What did I tell you? If Syracuse got that same swing on that in the at bat, that it would result in more runs for Syracuse, and right there it did. That one absolutely hammered off the bat, and really had.
And Florida State's got one of the very best offenses, not only in the ACC, but in the entire nation. Swing and a miss. Mackenzie Foster down on strikes. Played 14 hard-fought innings of softball yesterday. Hard ground ball to short. Torres fields, and finally, mercifully ends the inning for Florida State. But what an inning it was for Syracuse.
Has never had to experience in terms of waiting that long to pitch again.
Kaylee Mudge skies at the center, and Hasso fundamentally makes the catch with two hands for the first out of the inning.
Far Beecham has just kind of watched on and hasn't adjusted quite yet.
The 1-2. Grounded softly to third, Clyde smooth, and she makes the throw in time to retire Beecham. So quickly, 2 away for Lindsey Hendricks in the top of the third. And
the upper echelon of the ACC, you're still carrying the heavy load of the offense, and right now when she's not performing at her best, it's showing some holes in this Seminoles lineup.
There's a walk to Kaylee Harding a little bit today. Just 1 for 8 in this series. Line drive past the lunging Knight at first, into right field for a base hit. Harding heads on down to third, throw from Lopez cut off. And the Seminoles have runners on the corners with 2 away. Michaela Edenfield, as Lindsey Hendricks found out firsthand in the first inning. A long home run over the left field wall. She smacks that to center, but it stays up for Hasso, and that's out number 3. So the Seminoles threaten in the top of the third, but can't scratch a run across.
Syracuse has done that game in and game out.
Well, Ashton Danley back out there for Florida State, deals with Liv Pess. Let's begin the bottom of the third. Ground ball right back to Danley. Flips it to first to retire Pess, 1 away. And she works a walk. Hard fought for Rebecca Clyde, and she's on for the 2nd straight inning.
You talked about her game translating from baseball to softball when she's gotten late in those for some of these at-bats.
3-2. Up high, ball 4. So back-to-back walks issued by Ashton Danley, and Syracuse has 2 on. 46 pitches have come across only 8 batters. Popped up. Shallow left center, shortstop Torres puts it away for out number 2. Hitting .203. Had an RBI single in the first inning as that one bounces, and Clyde heads on down to third. A little bit of padding and a little bit of plastic. You still feel it. Another payoff. Bounces in front of Edenfield. And Taylor Posner works a walk. The 3rd that Danley has issued in this inning. Talk, exactly. 2-2 on Knight. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Chase the changeup up and away. And that's how the 3rd inning comes to an end. Syracuse loads the bases, but can't scratch one across. State lineup, Devin Flaherty to lead things off.
You have to imagine this is some of the most fun that this Syracuse team has had, especially ever against an ACC opponent.
We talked about Rebecca Clyde's baseball background and her smooth fielding as a result. Here's Janai Kerr. Half swing, looping line drive down the right field line that dunks in for a base hit. Kerr a big turn around first, but she holds up right there with a 1-out single.
Definitely not the swing.
Run home run to Michaela Edenfield back in the first inning. One of the few mistakes she's made today. Waycaser grounds at the 3rd, Clyde to 2nd for 1, and that's all they'll get as Janai Kerr is retired for out number 2. 3 lead over number 14, Florida State. Hard ground ball through the left side. A base hit for Amaya Ross. She's 2 for 2 today, and now 4 for 6 in this series.
Her back
the next 3 years.
And that's already on a Florida State team that is so young and has so many good weapons.
Waycaser on the ground at first. It's through Madison Knight. Trickles into right field. Harp scores. The throw to the plate not in time to get the speedy Ross. A 2-run error will be charged to the Syracuse first baseman Madison Knight.
On the ground in the correct spot, but ball took a bad turn at the last second.
1-0 on Jason E. Beecham, rips it on one hop to Kelly Breen, makes a nice play on it to end the fourth inning. Florida State does get two back though, couple of under, and then after that, nothing. Fly ball left center. New center fielder Harp and Danley converge, and Harp makes the catch. So two defensive replacements in communications.
Fielders being so young, these are sometimes the results you get.
3-2 on Foster, and she takes up and in for ball four. Didn't love the 3-1 pitch. Thought that one was up and in. Gooden tried to go right back to that same spot, but missed. In every major statistical category, but has not looked that way today. Breen lines it back up the middle, juggling catch by Gooden. Self-preservation and the out for the freshman.
In hopes that to deflect the ball away from her, and it ultimately ended up working in her favor.
Pass lines it back up the box. This one's into center. Second hit of the game for Liv Pess. EC opponent this year. Now she's got three. Rip to center, that's a base hit. The throw to the plate in plenty of time, but it's dropped by Edenfield. Foster slides in safely, and Syracuse hits double digits. An RBI single for Rebecca Clyde, 10-5 Orange. Good throw by Kennedy Harp on one bounce. The tag's in time, but she just couldn't hang on Edenfield.
That was exactly where you mentioned that's exactly where you want the throw placed, and Foster, great job trying to get under the tag, and just if you're Edenfield, who has hung on to a lot of balls today.
This year, 305 average, 403 on base. 3-2, rolled up the middle into center. It's another base hit. Pess on her way home, not even a throw this time. Syracuse on top, 11-5 on the RBI knock from Lopez.
Syracuse has just found the holes today, Francesco. There's been plenty of times where errors have plagued Florida State, but especially in this inning, just finding the holes to the left and right side over the infielders, and even there, Kennedy Harp kind of unsure of what to do with the ball. Originally thought maybe she'd throw it on a dime again.
Hasso drills it to right center. Kirk dives and can't make the catch. Cut off in the gap by Hart. One run scores. Here comes Lopez. Two-run score. Angel Hasso's fired up. Make it a baker's dozen for the Orange. 13-5. Syracuse over number 14 Florida State.
You talked about perfect. I just talked about perfectly placing hits. That one was another one. That one just out of the reach of Waykazer. And Syracuse just pouring it on. Who would have dropped in their favor? There really hasn't been a lot that's, or albeit anything that's gone wrong for Syracuse.
Posner loops it to first. Ross can't handle it, and Posner reaches. Almost certainly would have been thrown out, and it is ruled an error. So here's Madison Knight off the end of the bat, pop up to third. And Beecham makes the catch to end the inning. But another big one for Syracuse. 13 they're at right now. The ACC tournament is the benchmark. Swing and a miss. Hendricks fans Harding one away.
Having consistent hitters who can hit really well on offense, those things all result in what you talked about, Francesco.
Torres skies at the center. Hasso makes the catch, and Syracuse is 1 out away from run ruling Florida State of this Syracuse team. And time called. 3 complete game victories in the last 2 weeks against Virginia Tech and Florida State. Looking for 4, and there it is! Syracuse is going to the ACC tournament after a 13-5 run rule win over number 14 Florida State. first ever series win against the Seminoles, second ever top 15 series win, and the second in 2 weeks. A senior day to remember for the Central New York faithful and beyond.
And just pure jubilation from the Syracuse side and from the side of their fans. This is arguably one of the most populated crowds they've had